This is the WJTS News. In tonight's news, a Celestine man died Monday in a four-wheeler accident. The 2020 Census Day is Wednesday, April 1st, and Indiana's COVID-19 numbers have been updated. In sports, Kurt Guxell talks with Southridge baseball coach Gene Mattingly about the uncertainty of this year's season, followed by WJTS Informed, tonight with Becky Beckman talking about the 2020 census. All this and more coming up on the 18 WJTS News. Good evening, I'm Bill Potter with the WJTS News. A Celestine man died Monday in a four-wheeler accident. Indiana conservation officers are investigating an off-road vehicle accident that resulted in the death of 55-year-old Keith Tavis of Celestine. Tavis was reportedly operating his ORV Monday along a ditch line when the accident occurred. He was found by a family member on private property off County Road 820 East, approximately a half-mile south of State Road 164. DuBois County Dispatch was notified of the ORV rollover accident with entrapment at 3:18 p.m. Life-saving efforts were started on the scene, and Tavis was transported to Memorial Hospital in Jasper, where he succumbed to his injuries. Before the accident occurred, Tavis was spraying weeds on his property. A steep change in elevation along the ditch line is believed to be the primary cause of the ORV accident. Responding agencies include his fellow Celestine firefighters, DuBois County Sheriff's Department, Jasper Memorial Hospital EMS, and Indiana conservation officers. The 2020 Census Day is Wednesday, April 1st. The census is required every 10 years to measure the country's population. It's important for everyone to be counted, but not just for figuring out a county's population. All census results are confidential. The census can be filled out in a variety of ways this year. You can fill it out by phone, computer, tablet, paper, or other ways. For more information, head to 2020census.gov. Tonight's WJTS Informed features Becky Beckman, chairwoman for the DuBois County Census 2020, with more details on the importance of participation in the census. This is an Informed that we recorded earlier in March, but still brings you important details. Indiana's COVID-19 numbers have now been updated. As of Tuesday morning, the Indiana State Department of Health is reporting 49 deaths, 2,159 positive cases, and 13,373 individuals tested. When looking at our local counties, DuBois County has 3 cases, Orange County 3 cases, Crawford 1 case, Posey 4 cases, Lawrence 9 cases, Gibson 4 cases, Warwick 8 cases, and Vandenberg 18 cases. Davies, Martin, Spencer, Perry, and Pike counties all have no confirmed cases at this time. To see a map of cases by county, head to in.gov/ISDH. Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb gave an update on the state's COVID-19 response on Monday afternoon. During the press conference, Holcomb announced the following actions: asked President Trump for a major disaster declaration for Indiana. This would approve federal funding for the state if it is granted. Signed an executive order to help hospitals prepare for a surge in COVID-19 cases. Indiana hospitals have increased their intensive care unit capacity by about 1/3 in the past few weeks for this expected surge in COVID-19 related illnesses. State health officials also say that hospitals have added about 500 critical care beds to give the state 1,940. Although officials said about 60% of those ICU beds were in use, hospitals are working on creating more ICU capacity by converting operating and recovery room spaces. He is also extending the executive order requiring all bars and restaurants to remain closed to in-person dining. Officials are keeping a watchful eye on homeowners and crews cleaning up after a weekend tornado swept through a southwestern Indiana town to make sure they adhere to social distancing amid coronavirus pandemic. After Saturday's storm swept through the Ohio River town of Newburgh, cleanup crews descended on the area Sunday and again Monday as officials kept watch to ensure that they were not working too closely together. Warwick County's Emergency Management Director Dave Woolen says officials are trying to make sure crews, homeowners, and volunteers keep sufficient spacing between each other in keeping with public health advice during the pandemic. Memorial Hospital and Healthcare Center has developed an alternative screening site for residents. The site is designed to serve patients who have symptoms of a fever, cough, or shortness of breath, but do not require emergency department services. The screening site also provides testing for influenza A and B, strep throat, respiratory virus, which is RSV, and x-rays. This site is located at 695 West 2nd Street. The entrance on the west side of the building follow the yellow signs. It will be open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Sunday. Patients can call 812-996-6330, 996-6330. That is a local number. The Indiana Red Cross and Du Bois County Fairgrounds are teaming up for a blood drive next month, that is in April. The American Red Cross is facing a severe blood shortage because of the COVID-19 outbreak. Nearly 4,700 blood drives have been canceled across the county, or across the country, that is, due to concern about congregating at workplaces, college campuses, and schools because of the outbreak. These cancellations have resulted in nearly 86,000 fewer blood donations. Over 80% of the blood the Red Cross collects comes from these drives. There is no data or evidence that COVID-19 can be transmitted by blood transfusion. There are also no reported cases of any respiratory virus being transmitted through a blood transfusion. This blood drive takes place at the Du Bois County Fairgrounds on April 21st from 1 to 6 p.m. To sign up or for more information, visit redcrossblood.org. There will be other blood drives as well. 4 counties have tied for the lowest unemployment, or the lowest employment in the state for February. Boone, Du Bois, Hamilton, and Martin all took home the top spot with 2.4% unemployment rate. Numbers for the surrounding counties include Davies at 2.8% unemployment, Spencer at 4.0%, Perry 3.4%, and Orange and Pike counties at 3.8%. Crawford County at 5.6% and Warwick County at 2.9%. The statewide unemployment rate for February was 3.1%. Those numbers obviously will change as we move forward into the new normal. And Indiana's finances are taking a major hit from the coronavirus crisis, and it remains to be seen how big of a hit it will be. Unemployment claims have skyrocketed with business and factory closings in the past couple of weeks, along with less retail spending expected to mean a sizable hit to sales tax revenue. Governor Eric Holcomb says perhaps $1 billion will have to be spent from the state's $2.3 billion in cash reserves to get through the budget year that ends June 30th. The federal coronavirus economic relief package dictates that at least $1.25 billion to each state, but Indiana officials haven't yet said how much they anticipate the state will receive. And the Indiana Department of Transportation is closing parts of US 50 between Shoals and Bedford next week, beginning on or around Friday, April 10th. Contractors will close a lane of US 50 from US 150 in Shoals to State Road 237 in Bedford for a pavement patch and rehabilitation project. Crews will work on patching areas of pavement before milling and resurfacing the road. Lane closures are expected to last for about 10 hours a day. During this time, traffic will be restricted to 12-foot lane, sand controlled by flagging operations. Loads wider than 12 foot should seek an alternate route using the nearest state mandate maintained routes. Work is expected to last until the beginning of July, depending on weather conditions. INDOT urges drivers to slow down and stay alert when near crews. And also, INDOT is also closing parts of State Road 64 near Marengo for pavement operations. Beginning on or around April 10th, contractors will close a lane of State Road 64 from the east junction of State Road 66 to the west junction of State Road 66 for a pavement patch and rehabilitation project. During this time, workers will again be patching the area before milling and resurfacing the road. Lane closures are expected to be in place for about 10 hours a day. Traffic will be restricted to one 12-foot lane and be controlled by flagging operations. Loads wider than 12 foot should seek an alternate route by using the nearest state-maintained routes. Work is expected to last until, again, the beginning of July, depending on weather conditions. And again, NDOT, as always, urges drivers to slow down and stay alert near crews. That has been a look at your local news. Kurt Guxell is in next with sports. Then it's your local outlook and weather forecast on 18 WJTS. Local people watching local people.